I'm Ira Wallace, and you're watching Meet the Farmer TV.
Next on Meet the Farmer TV, a small local business, Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, saving seeds of heirloom varieties. Meet the Farmer TV is made possible by Planet Earth Diversified, Melli Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design. In the Kitchen Magazine, serving the community and everyone who loves good food. Culpeper's Channel 21, helping to preserve the agricultural history of Virginia, and Flavor Magazine, serving the Piedmont's local food and wine culture. Today on Meet the Farmer TV, we're going to visit with Ira Wallace of Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, a small company founded to save seeds of heirloom varieties before they're lost forever. We'll join her at the Harvest Festival.
Arugula to zucchini at the White House.
Save the family farm.
In the kitchen.
In the end, the bill passed.
It's about preserving some semblance of the family farm.
It's for locally grown food.
It's about market access.
Plants don't have personalities. I got one.
I call it the new American agriculture, and our whole agriculture education system is going to change.
We have a great solution to some of these crises that we're now facing.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching
Meet the Farmer TV.
Oh, today we're here at the Heritage Harvest Festival. This is our third time, and Southern Exposure Seed Exchange is a co-sponsor along with Monticello's the Thomas Jefferson Foundation of this festival, and we've been co-organizers since the beginning. We specialize in heirloom and open pollinated seeds. We have over 650 varieties, about 400 now, certified organic varieties. We grow a lot of stuff on our farm in Mineral, Virginia, and we contract with other farms all throughout the Southeast and beyond at this point. We one of the things that we're committed to is to trying to build the infrastructure for having seeds produced in our region. Because it used to be a big thing. I mean, when you get through old records and you look at the old seed companies in Richmond, there are many southern varieties that were developed by the agriculture department at research stations here in Virginia. But there's not much seed growing going on here anymore. But we're trying to make that different. So we try to sell, we work for varieties that are well suited to grow here. Many of them originated here, many of them originated all over the world. Our selection criteria is that something that will do well here at the climate and time as it is here, and we select for flavor. It's an important component of what makes a variety good. We also have a kind of wordy catalog because we want you to know, is this a good market variety or is this better, for a home gardener? Is this one really productive or is this one a little finicky but worth it because it tastes so good? Or like some tomato like Long Keeper that I would never eat it fresh out of the garden. It's not that exciting, but it stores extremely well. And after you've had 6 weeks of no garden tomatoes, it tastes pretty good. So we do a lot of that. We also support a lot of organizations and products that, help this kind of movement for preservation of genetic diversity and farmland and stuff. Like we work with the Piedmont Environmental Council, the Organic Seed Alliance, Seed Savers Exchange, because we feel like we can't just be out here alone, that it takes a community trying to make a more sustainable future working together. And we grow lots of vegetables. We don't just grow the ones that we sell, we trial many, many varieties every year so that we can see what we might want to have in the future. And we try to, go to sustainable ag events and, share seeds and information about it and information about seed saving. Because, we would like each of you to adopt a seed. The only way to protect a seed is in the ground. are varieties that the only way that they're still here is because one farmer somewhere kept growing it 50 years after it was no longer commercially available. And now we and this new movement for heirlooms get to take advantage of that. And I'd like for people to feel like that's something they can do, that there will be another generation of kids who grow up and say, that's Aunt Ruby's tomato. And that's something that we're really about. And yeah, I'd like to show you some more about where we grow things and stuff another time.
We started off on Mont Alto at the Harvest Festival. Now let's go to the location of Southern Exposure Seed Exchange.
Hi, Michael. I'm glad to be here with you.
Well, Ira, why did you start this business?
Well, I didn't actually start it. Jeff McCormick started it in his kitchen table a good 26 years ago. But in 1999, Acorn community here, the whole co-op, bought Southern Exposure from Jeff. We had been growing seed for him, and some of the members had been working in the office. And we did it because we wanted to do something important about sustainability. And Southern Exposure is one of the companies that is working to preserve heirloom varieties and to help put information out so that people have the skills they need to save their own seeds should they choose to.
What's so important about heirloom varieties and saving seeds?
Everything begins with the seed. If you're going to grow, the quality of the seed that you have is really important. And heirloom varieties, somebody had to keep saving these all these years, so it had something that was important to them. That might be flavor, that might be color, that might be disease resistance or regional adaptability. And that's why we think it's really important. And seed saving is important so that people have control themselves and farmers of their own crops.
So what's most important about growing seeds for saving?
Well, there are a lot of things about it, and one of the things is farmers choosing varieties that they really like and that work well in their areas. And a lot of the people who grow seeds for us, like William Hale here, are growing seeds that they chose because it works for them for something they're doing. He grows this wonderful popcorn for us, and he'll tell you more about how he got into all this.
Well, I was actually influenced by Jeff McCormick, and I'm probably riding on Southern Exposure's coattails a little bit. Ira had introduced me to another seed distributor for whom I grow the majority of my popcorn. This is a popcorn that Ira and Southern Exposure have saved and promoted. It's called Pennsylvania Butter Flavor, an old-fashioned white open-pollinated variety. And I've been growing popcorn for a pretty long time, mostly for the popping market. But quite frankly, growing for seeds helps me make a profit on the whole deal, because a seed is something you can sell at somewhat more value than popping corn. But from there, I branched out into now growing cover crop seeds as well. And that's all actually built on my main business, which is making compost for farmers and gardeners, which so it goes to the whole core of what I'm trying to do, which is saving the soil.
Can anyone save seeds?
Yes, everyone can save some seeds. Some varieties need a lot of isolation distance, but a lot of things are really easy and you can grow in a very mixed garden. I'll tell you an example. My friend Hildegard Ott here, who I do an herb workshop with every year, had some cardoon just growing as a specimen plant in her herb garden, and I just plucked those seeds and saved them. Hildegard, do you want to talk a little bit more about what can happen over at your place?
Yes, we have a very large herb garden. It's a working garden and a teaching garden. We have workshops yearly. And one of the functions of the herb garden is to help teach other people how to grow plants rather than just purchase them. And so they're able to see what happens when you plant a seed and enable them to be able to do this kind of work themselves so that they can have their own plants growing, whether it be on a windowsill or in a small garden in their backyard.
Can you tell us how people contribute their seeds and their varieties to the Southern Exposure Seed Exchange?
Well, we have a a little program we call Seed Shares, which encourages people to share their seeds. And we have a seed bank, which is really a large freezer full of seeds that people have sent. And they're sometimes, we solicit them. We belong to a lot of seed saving organizations. So we'll talk to people and go to these seed swaps and get varieties. But sometimes you get the most heartwarming letters in the mail. Like we have Grandma Nellie's mushroom bean. And it just came as a little 25 seeds in a packet there and says, "These are my grandma's beans. I'm getting all and nobody else wants to grow it. Maybe you'll keep growing it for me." And it was just the sweetest letter ever. And, and that has turned out to be a bean that we all really love.
What I get asked all the time is, what does a popcorn plant look like? Everybody knows what popcorn looks like. It's something that comes in a bag about this big and you put it in the microwave. But actually the popcorn plant is one of the, I believe there's 6 or 7 main species of corn, one of which is popcorn. They're all from the New World. And it looks like a sweet corn plant, basically. That's what I tell them.
Well, I always enjoy helping people figure out how to grow the plants like cilantro and dill in their gardens, and how it helps to have seeds that are from a local area that produce better for you in the soil and the temperatures and climate that we have in this area.
We work a little bit with Vintage Virginia apples, and they help to put on the Heritage Harvest Festival. And, they have so many varieties, and they have workshops so you can graft your own of those varieties. And we do a lot of other things, in taking those varieties. One of the things that's going to be really fun this year at the Heritage Harvest Festival at Monticello is we just got 2 of the White House chefs who have that kitchen garden there are going to give a cooking demonstration at the festival this year using some of those Jeffersonian varieties, and that'll be really fun.
So tell us, Ira, how do you become a member of the Seed Exchange?
Well, Southern Exposure has become a mail order seed company. So you can, sign up for our catalog and, just, be a regular person and just buy seeds. You can contribute seeds to us or to the One Seed at a Time project. You can also, become a member of the National Seed Savers Exchange by going, to seedsavers.org, United Plant Savers, and other possibilities to do that. And something else, if you're just new to all this and you want to do double good, is we have a Virginia Heritage seed sampler that we're selling, and 30% of the sales money from those Virginia Heritage samplers are going to the Piedmont Environmental Council for their work with the Buy Local campaign. So that's something, because a lot of times when you're new, you're like, what do I get? You don't even have to think. There it is.
Ira, is there a website where we can find these seeds and information and purchase them?
Yes, at www.southernexposure.com. And we also have a website for our Heritage Festival, which is www.heritageharvestfestival.com. And our new catalog just went up on the web yesterday.
www.twinoaks.org, and there's an herb garden link.
I actually do have email, and that is a good way to get in touch with me. It's WNHale, as in William Newton, Hale, H-A-L-E, at louisa.net.
At Twin Oaks, the herb garden is available for tours throughout the summer, and there are over 100 varieties of herb. And you get as a bonus, if you come for a regular Saturday tour, to see a great big walk-in hoop house, and they have a 4-acre vegetable garden. And my friend Pam Dolling, she's English, and she wasn't able to come because she's becoming a citizen, signing up today. So, and she is going to be writing a book that I'm going to do a chapter on seed saving for. So that'll be coming soon, in a year, probably.
Well, Ira, tell us about some of the events that you sponsor or coordinate, and what sort of people are you looking for to help you out?
Okay, first, before I say more, let me introduce two people who have joined us. Paul Blundell, who co-manages a lot of the efforts that have to do with outreach and farmers and all kinds of stuff like that for Southern Exposure. And Edmund Frost, who came to us first as an intern and now lives at nearby Twin Oaks community and manages 3 of our seed plots and is just, these are amazing young men. We need all kinds of help. We do a lot of events, the Heritage Festival being the biggest one, but I work on workshops for the Master Gardeners. I'm a part of the Central Virginia Master Gardener group, and we do events at Southern SOG, the Southern Sustainable Agriculture Working Group. We're gonna, at their annual conference this year, we're gonna have a workshop on seed saving for money for farmers to look at, can this be a part of the mix for your farm? And it's also an introduction if you're just thinking about growing seeds for yourself there. And then Edmund is gonna join me at Virginia Biological Farmers Conference we're gonna do a pre-conference half-day workshop on seed saving and mixing it into the economy of a farm. And Paul is my right-hand guy for the Heritage Harvest Festival and any other events, because we go to Earth Day events, we go to what's the name of that place in Richmond? The Lewis Venter Botanical Gardens is going to have something in conjunction with the Green Industry Council, and they're going to have a big workshop there in March. So I'm going to do another seed saving thing, and it's just like so many events. But I think in particular, the Virginia Biological Farmers one is going to be a great opportunity because it's free. It's actually before the conference. I mean, we hope you'll come to the conference and support VABF too, but there's a workshop and then a sort of a potluck lunch, and it's a great opportunity to learn some stuff, meet some people, and see what's going on in the local sustainable agriculture community. The VABF conference is going to move to Danville the first time. It'll be a chance for people in Virginia and people in the northern part of North Carolina to come to the conference. And I'm going to start out a little bit about seed saving. I'm doing a survey of other seed companies that also want to buy directly from farmers, and we're floating the idea of forming a southeastern family farm seed growers cooperative. Not just family farms, cooperative farms like us too. So that's the part I'm going to talk about. And Edmund's going to talk about his experience with really contract growing, working for us and working on some contracts that we have with another seed company as well.
This year we grew about 50 different varieties of seeds. A lot of them are pretty small lots of seed, but some of them are medium-sized, larger lots of seed. And it's very interesting work. You get to see all these different varieties of all kinds of vegetables. And it's also good because we're able to make some money doing it. And we think it's a good way for farmers to supplement their income or make most of their income. And so part of this workshop is to find other farmers who want to get into growing seeds.
Edmund started out, and the first year Edmund wasn't there. River was honchoing it, and maybe it was like $2,000-$3,000, and then the next year was like $8,000, and I don't know how much you're going to get this year. 20?
Yeah, it's actually been 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
And this year it should be about 22 or 3,000 or so.
And it's a small amount of land, like, I don't know, 2 acres maybe?
About 2 acres.
Yeah. So that's something about how you can kind of move up. I can't say the first year you're going to make all that much, because it's like, if you're sensible, it's growing a small amount and learning a little bit about it. And I know that Edmund is getting some equipment that's going to help cut down on the labor hours too, particular weeding tractor and some other things. Other events that we do, I guess, like Paul is one of the people who just gets called on to go out there and represent us at events. And it's something that we feel like the way we give back to the community is being willing to go there and to give talks and stuff like that.
I mean, I think that one of the things that we do a lot is that there's in the local area, there's a fairly active local foods movement and organic farming movement. And so there's a number of events, a number of sort of public events that go on that'll have producers and companies that are in that industry, that are in that scene, coming and sharing their resources and talking about what they're doing and just being available for the public. And so we're often asked by various events and by various organizations to come out and be a part of their event, perhaps because we're exciting in that there aren't that many seed companies out there, and there are especially not that many seed companies doing what we're doing. And so I think that there's a lot of people in the area that are excited about hearing about us, seeing us, and like having us be a part of what they're doing.
There's the Goochland, what is the Goochland Farmers Market Group? The Center for Rural Culture. They have a organic growers school, and we're going to do a seed saving workshop for that this year too, and that's coming up in February, I guess. Yeah, that is an annual event, and last year they had several hundred farmers come to that event, and so that's a big thing. Oh, and we're going away to the big time too. This is not so local, but I joined the board of the Organic Seed Alliance, and there's going to be a national symposium on organic seed, and it's trying to get representatives from different states. So I'm going, and William, who was here earlier, is going. I totally forgot about that as a farmer, and that is hopefully because there's a lot of grants and things going out for developing the seed industry, but very little has gone to the Southeast. And the Southeast traditionally was a place where seeds for things like cowpeas and okra and collards were grown, but not so much now. And I really want to put in a bid for us becoming once again a vibrant place for seed growing. The Organic Seed Alliance and associated ASCADA, which is the Association of Organic Growers and Trade Association, have been a part of a suit against Monsanto. They are, and other growers, from growing GMO sugar beets in the parts of Washington where beet seeds are grown because of possible contamination to organic crops. And this is one of the few successful things. They've stopped them in their tracks for a while, at least. And people should pay attention. Like at the Organic Seed Alliance website, you can go and find out information about how this fight is going. You can write to your Congress people and saying, you don't want this GMO junk contaminating your seed sources. And it's a really important organization, I think, in keeping us abreast of what's going on. One reason that I wanted to have Paul and Edmund stop by is many of our seed growers are older than I am. They're in their 70s. And one of my favorite seed growers and mentors passed away this year, and it made me really aware how important it is to get more young farmers involved in seed growing. And these guys are the future. I want to find more like them and have them become involved in this important work.
I came to Acorn several years ago, and part of what brought me here was wanting to farm, but also caring about genetically modified contamination and saving seeds. And I'm really happy to be able to put a lot of my time into work that relates to those issues because I care a lot about it.
So when I came and joined Southern Exposure Seed Exchange and Acorn community where it's based, I didn't really imagine that I would have a future and an interest in agriculture. But when I got here, I'm a fellow who's very interested in engineering and in systems. And as I got more and more involved in the business and I got more and more involved in the machine, I saw the complexity and the opportunities that are available in agriculture today. And there's just so much potential for creativity and so much potential for being able to, as Ira often says, do well by doing good. Go out there and be able to make a livelihood for yourself, be able to enrich your community, and be able to feel like you're making a positive contribution to the world, and to be able to do interesting work at the same time. So, my years of involvement here have just made me more and more excited about the possibilities of this sort of work, agriculturally related work, and especially the important work of seed saving.
Well, thank you, Ira. That was phenomenal information about how to save seeds and the importance of heirloom varieties that are disappearing without these phenomenal efforts of individuals like you growing and saving seed.
Thank you, Michael, for having us here, coming out to our place and sharing about our work here at Southern Exposure. We hope people will visit us online at southernexposure.com and see what we're up to. Well, what you do on Meet the Farmer TV is really important because people have forgotten about agriculture. They don't know that there are real people out there working hard in different ways so that they can have good, fresh, organic food available on their table. And when people know what's going on with real farmers, they go looking for real food. And I really appreciate your supporting that.
What'd you pick?
Spinach and lettuce.
Can I see?
Sure.
Got some shots
For lunch.
Right.
There's a little bit of spinach on top, and then, well, there's some mixed lettuce.
Lettuce, okay.
Lettuce, some spinach, and then, let's see, or lettuce, and then some green, or green lettuce.
So here we are in, what is it, December 16th? And you just picked this stuff fresh out of the garden.
Uh-huh.
How would we call that? Just like some plastic over the crops?
Yeah, people call it floating row cover. It's kind of a polyester mesh fiber, sort of acts in a similar manner to plastic, but it allows a little more air to go through, protects the crops from the frost, that kind of thing.
So it extends the growing season.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool. I got some shots. I was hoping you'd come back with something very nice.
It'll be for lunch.
Join us next time when we travel to Copper Fox Distillery, Wassman's single malt whiskey made from local grain. Thanks for joining us for another Meet the Farmer TV. And please let each of our underwriters know you appreciate their support bringing you Meet the Farmer TV. Check out their websites and tell them personally you appreciate their support underwriting Meet the Farmer TV. Meet the Farmer TV is made possible by Planet Earth Diversified, Melli Productions, and Leslie P. Jenkins Photography and Graphic Design. In the Kitchen Magazine, serving the community and everyone who loves good food. Culpeper's Channel 21, helping to preserve the agricultural history of Virginia, and Flavor Magazine, serving the Piedmont's local food and wine culture.